following is a role play for Michigan State University School of Social Work, Social Work 871, Advanced Practice with Families class. Hi Beth, hi James. We're here today because Beth is very concerned about how your relationship is going, and what I recall you saying in our phone contact is that you feel like your relationship is dissolving.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how the two of you experience your relationship.
Well, to be honest, there's not really much to experience because he's always watching TV, sports, or drinking, not talking to me. We started out great, we had a lot of hopes and dreams for each other's, and, we wanted to start a family. But, his drinking has really increased lately. His distance has really increased. Things just aren't going well, in my opinion. We just really, not intimate, very distant from each other. He just seems like he doesn't want anything to do with me. He'd rather watch ESPN.
The reason I watch so much TV is, I think, because she nags me so much that I need to find a way to escape. So I watch ESPN. I do drink. I don't know if I have an issue with drinking. A couple beers a day, it's not that big of a deal. It seems like, too, that she brings a lot of her work from work home. And it just really bothers me that she spends so much time doing her work while she's at home. So even if I wanted to hang out with her, which sometimes, I really don't because she's can be so nagging, she has all this work she's got to do, so.
Well,
When he said that he doesn't think he has a drinking problem, I noticed that you made a face. I'm wondering where that comes from.
well, because it seems like it's more important than me, obviously. Our communication has totally taken a back seat to his quiet time drinking and watching TV. And maybe I bring work home with me because you're always so busy.
Okay.
I'm hearing the two of you doing a lot of accusing of each other, but it seems like there are two people in this relationship.
Doesn't feel that way.
What does it feel like?
Feels like I'm by myself and I just can sit in my office alone and he never comes in and checks on me or does anything. He just watches TV as soon as he gets home and drinks and then goes to bed, and that's that.
But if I would go check on you, you'd probably just complain about something. So I just don't bother.
Well, that's an assumption. Yeah. So I just feel like, I just am in this house all by myself and he just doesn't have the key to get in, and I'm just lonely, and I just feel alone, and he doesn't understand my house.
I wonder if you can relate to that. I mean, I'm hearing her say that she feels like she's in a house locked in all by herself. I wonder if you feel similarly.
Yeah, kind of like that. There's a lot of times I feel like even though we're both in the house, I do feel like I'm by myself, just a lot of isolation. We both kind of stay away from each other.
So what I'm hearing is that you each have a house, and you're in the house by yourselves. And I think that it would be important to see what these houses look like. So I'm going to have you each draw together in separate spots what your house looks like, the house you live in alone.
So do you want like the outside of the house, or what do you want?
I want to know what the walls look like for you. Draw the house that keeps you locked in.
Okay.
Okay.
do you want us to put like furniture and pictures and stuff, or do we just?
If that's how you see it.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to explain this because I'm not a good drawer.
Well, I think I'm gonna ask you to both explain your houses so that both of you know how you see the houses.
Okay.
So Beth, do you want to talk about your house?
Sure. Well, here I put the living room, and I wrote the word distant because that's where at the time where he's most distant, watching TV, drinking his beer. I feel like if I walk into the living room, that I'm not even acknowledged. So this is where I think one of the spaces where our distance comes from. And then my office, because that's where I'm always alone and always doing my work, and I was trying to distract myself because what else would I be doing? And this is the bedroom, and I just drew a big sad face because nothing happy goes on here. And this is another area where we are very distant and very alone and don't communicate in any sort of way. And this is the kitchen, and this is my horrible drawing, but it's me eating dinner by myself because we're both so disconnected that when I come home from work, he's already doing his thing. So, if I want to get something to eat, I just sit at the dining room table by myself, and
It seems really lonely.
feels really sad. So, that's me eating dinner alone.
James, do you want to explain your house?
Sure. This is the office where Beth isolates herself and does work all the time instead of wanting to come out and socialize. Here's a living room where I go to kind of isolate myself sometimes because Beth can get kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Nagging. Yeah, I think nagging's a good word. In the bedroom, and then I put her side of the bed, my side of the bed, and there's it's kind of like a check mark all the way through saying we're together, but we're still isolated, and kitchen, and I say she's right. It is pretty rare when we actually get to sit down and have a good meal together, but when we do, all we ever do is sit down and complain. And she nags me about my drinking and watching ESPN, and I complain about her work, and then when it gets too intense, one of us will go away. I'll go to the living room, watch some TV, or she'll go to the office and do work or something. So it's kind of a not very happy house.
No, it doesn't seem like it is at all. And I see, so each of you have your respective houses with their own walls. And I want to know what you're doing as a couple that keeps these walls from breaking down.
That's a good question. I think that we just spend a lot of time apart because we're too worried about if it will cause a fight or an argument or some kind of problem if we do communicate. So I think we keep our walls up by just not sharing our feelings with each other.
It seems like there's a lot of anxiety when you're in the same room.
Yeah, there is a lot of pressure, to have a conversation that's productive and good, I guess.
I think a lot of the reason why we're not we don't interact very much with each other is we have so much going on our plate right now. We're both working really intense jobs, and sometimes Beth will bring her work home with her, and that takes up a lot of space. But then again, I probably watch too much TV, and we just don't take the time out of our day that we probably should for each other.
So here's a question for you. So what if you spent 3 nights a week doing activities or relaxing together? What would that be like for you as a couple?
Well, what can they be? What activities?
You have to both agree on something that's comfortable for you. You spend 3 nights a week in each other's company.
I mean, we did want to join that softball team.
Yeah, it's hard to find time though.
I think that if we spent 3 nights a week, devoted to talking to each other, that at first it might be a little weird because, you know, we haven't done that in a while, but I think that it might look good for us. It might be helpful. Might improve things.
Okay. So we're just gonna kind of sit around and talk? Is that what we're gonna do, I guess? Is it?
I guess.
We probably try to figure out something we can do. Maybe like a movie night or something.
Yeah, that sounds good.
You know?
As long as you talk during it.
Yeah, that's true. That's
And it's
true.
not a sports movie.
Oh, I was gonna say ESPN, but I thought you'd be mad, so I didn't.
I'm not mad.
Okay. Yeah, maybe a movie night when we could talk more. You know, you said you wanted to do that Taibo exercise program thing.
That's right.
Yeah, we could do that together, like some time together. I mean, we'll be sweating a lot, but not talking very much.
Yeah, but we could still talk about it afterwards. Yeah, something to do together at least.
I think that would be something you could try to at least spend 1 or 2 nights a week in each other's company without work or without alcohol.
Yeah, I probably could do that 3 times a week.
Yeah, that'd be great. To stop the drinking a little bit, and maybe then we could, you know, break down some of our house walls, because I think what we really saw is that we don't talk enough. A lot of isolation.
Yeah.
And it's something that I heard from both of you, that you're both isolating yourselves, and that you're realizing that that the other person is not solely to blame, that you're both contributing to the distance in your relationship.
Yeah,
Well, thank you.
I agree.
Thanks.